Good evening and welcome to the broadcast on this 29th day of July 2023. Not quite the normal hours as you'd expect, but we're here to quickly update you on what is making headlines across the country, because after that we'll be having a live healing stream, live service from Nigeria with Pastor Chris Oyakilome. But before then, it's best that we bring you up to speed on the latest really that is making headlines and what the news is saying. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Let's get started. Now, Kenyan victims of the August 7th, 1998 bombing on the United States Embassy in Nairobi have termed the exclusion of getting compensated by the American government as discriminatory. Presenting their submissions before the Senate Ad Hoc Committee, the victims say the injustices they faced in courts forced them to sue the government of Kenya for turning a blind eye to their woes. Meanwhile, the Senator Agnes Kavindo-led team has vowed to hold talks with the American government in a bid to amend the law that refrains Kenyan citizens from getting compensatory damages.
So this truck that took a turn and went towards the American embassy gates. Then I witnessed the altercation between the occupants of the truck and the security personnel from the embassy. Then I heard what I thought were gunshots being thrown at the embassy.
I was feeling like there were some needles piercing me.
Especially my back, it is all but wounds.
Crying. My husband is inside there, but apparently the building was all crumbled down.
That's when one of the doctors was like, "Where did your relative work?" They told him he worked at Food. The doctor said, "If it's Food, you guys just go to the mortuary." We went there, that's where we found him.
We tried to search for him that same day. They searched for him the following morning and ended up finding him at the city mortuary. He was not even identifiable.
Some of us lost our wombs. Some of us, they got torn. They were actually torn.
Government ought to have known that there was likelihood of that attack. A few days before the attack, the CIA and the Kenya police had raided a house in Runda.
Our country advancing collaboration between Kenyan government, the Senate of Kenya and the Senate of America, so that we can be included in this terrorist fund, because it's already there and it's meant to compensate such a people.
President William Ruto was in Mombasa this Saturday afternoon to launch the Toyota Fortuner local assembly line at the Associated Vehicle Assembler in the county. The head of state then proceeded to the commission of the Kenya National Shipping Line in Shupavu at the Mombasa Kenya Shipyard Limited. During the launch, President William Ruto said boosting performance and productivity of the port of Mombasa are critical in accelerating economic growth, particularly through improved tax volumes. The president is on a 5-day tour of the coastal region that began on Thursday, where he will be covering Lamu, Kilifi, Mombasa, Kwale, and Tana River counties. And the development tour will mainly focus on projects in the blue economy and fisheries sector in Mombasa, Ukunda, Ngao, and Mukowe.
That we have committed to complete the Liwatoni fish processing facility. We have committed 650 million shillings. I have instructed for the release of the first 300 million shillings in the next 1 month, because we want to unlock the potential, as I have said, of the blue economy, use the ocean resources to be able to create more jobs, drive the economy of this county, and also provide food security for the people of Kenya. Let me also say that as we engage in that, the other infrastructure that is required, including here in Likoni, where we were building a fish market that has stalled. I want to assure you that we will unlock that, and we want to complete the that fish market in the next 3 months.
Na nataka nimpongeze rais kwa sababu tangu Kenya kupata uhuru since 1963 wamekuwa wakituacha nyuma in terms of development. Your Excellency, the President, the Port of Mombasa is our only source of income, port and tourism. But since you took over, everything now is changing. You are opening up the coast region for the people of the coast to be able to benefit. We thank you very much.
Leaders from the Kenya Kwanza Alliance have rejected talks between President William Ruto and Azimio leader Raila Odinga, claiming that the talks could lead to a handshake. Speaking in Nandi County, where they were attending a job fair day in the Nandi Hills constituency, the legislators who are loyal to President William Ruto warned the executive against engaging in any form of power sharing as a way to resolve the anti-government protests in the country. The members of parliament, led by Marakwet West, Member of Parliament Timothy Kipchumba, Member of Parliament for Sabatia Clement Sloya, and Tetu's Member of Parliament Geoffrey Wendeto, have asked the President not to participate in any talks with the opposition leader Raila Odinga. The leaders also congratulated the Court of Appeal for withdrawing the order suspending the implementation of the Finance Act 2023, despite a lot of opposition from Kenyans.
Hatutakubali. Na tumeambia rais, ukisalimiana na Raila Odinga kugawa mamlaka ya Kenya, sisi utajipanga bwana rais.
Sisi tunakondem maandamano, lakini tunaomba Kenya hii yetu watu wakae chini waongee, tutulize hii joto. Lakini katika kuongea huku hatuta encourage president wetu kwenda katika mazungumzo ya kugawana mamlaka.
Ile jamaa hana haja na mambo ya cost of living. Ile jamaa ni serikali anajaribu kuchukua kupitia mlango wa nyuma. Mimi nataka niulize watu wa Nandi Hill, si mliamka mapema mkachagua William Ruto agawe serikali nusu apee ile mzee ama akae nayo yote to a bill without raising revenue? So I want to thank the Court of Appeal for overturning the decision of the High Court suspending the application of the Finance Act.
ICT Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo has assured that there will be adequate risk mitigation framework to avoid a repeat of the attempted cyber attack on the platforms of the government as witnessed earlier. Owalo was speaking at Nia Girls High School, where he launched a digital laboratory and said this will not deter them from attaining the agenda of digitizing services in Kenya. While reflecting on what happened that jammed the platform, hindering the service delivery, Owalo said the attempted attack did not interfere with the data platform and assured Kenyans that their data is safe.
Aware that there was a small incident where the services were temporarily interfered with, I want to take this opportunity again to assure Kenyans that what we witnessed was an attempted attack on the eCitizen platform. And the data that we have within the eCitizen platform was in no way interfered with. What they did was to make more than normal requests into the system so that the system gets jammed or the system gets clogged. But the mitigation framework we have around that system thwarted that attempt, and as we speak, we are back to operations. All the services can be consumed virtually as before. We are back to optimal level capacity utilization on the eCitizen platform, and moving forward, we have put in place an elaborate risk mitigation framework to ensure that we pursue our digitalization agenda to a logical conclusion without interference by any extraneous actors or factors.
As the world prepares to mark the International Day Against Trafficking of Humans in this Sunday, cases of human trafficking are growing at an alarming rate, with sexual exploitation and labor being the most prevalent forms. This is according to the Labour Cabinet Secretary Florence Bor, who spoke during an event to mark the day. Bor said that Kenya is described as a quote-unquote country of origin, transit, and destination in trafficking of persons.
The study revealed that external trafficking in persons was the most prominent at 64.7%, while domestic trafficking was at 35.3%. In external trafficking, majority of the victims were adults and youthful females. An increase of migration of Kenyans to other countries, mostly for job opportunities. And in the quest for better opportunities abroad, many have fallen victims of rogue employment agencies and traffickers who make enticing job advertisements through the internet.
To be economically able to fend for myself and for my family. Therapy has helped me to come to terms with what I have been through. Other survivors who I met through Heart Kenya and who are now survivor advocates are a source of inspiration and encouragement to me.
Now listen to this. Lena Mudora, a mother of 3 from Lwatingo village in Kakamega County, claims that she was unaware that her due date had come and unknowingly gave birth in the toilet. Mudora said she had pleaded with her husband when she sensed labor pains at around 6 p.m. on Friday, but he turned her down. The husband would later find her with no pregnancy and sought help from neighbors after noticing blood stains in the latrine.
Naenda kujisaidia alafu baada ya mtoto angu kwa toilet. Nimemtuma pikipiki kuanzia saa 9 mpaka ndio akaendea saa 11. Na nikamtuma nitafutie kwa watu wawili wanisaidie kunipeleka hosi. Akaniambia huko watoki nje usiku.
Bibi yangu alikuwa mjamzito. Sasa asubuhi kuamka kwenda kuchukua pikipiki kuja kuona shida ni nini. Kuja kufika yeye akaniambia kwa sawa. So kutoka kwa nyumba kwenda kwa choo, kufika kwa choo, kuangalia kwa choo naona damu. So nikaanza kwa alert kuripoti.
Amerudi haina shida. Sasa akasema alirudi akaenda mpaka kwa choo kuangalia. Anapata damu imejaa ndani ya choo.
Indeed, quite sad, and we can only empathize with the mother and the family. Beyond our borders, the African Union has demanded the military in Niger to return their barracks and restore constitutional authority within 15 days after grabbing power in a coup in the jihadist-hit nation. The AU's Peace and Security Council demands that military personnel to immediately and unconditionally return to their barracks and restore authority. Bazoum was detained, the president of Niger was detained on Wednesday, and the purchased later named General Abdul Rahmane Chiani as the head of the Presidential Guard since 2011 and as the new leader. They presented the coup as a response to the deteriorating security in the country, but it was condemned by the international community as a power grab.
Nigériens, mes chers compatriotes, le mercredi 26 juillet 2023, les forces de défense et de sécurité regroupées au sein du Conseil national pour la sauvegarde de la patrie, CNSP, ont mis fin au régime de la 7e République. L'action du CNSP est motivée par la seule volonté de préserver notre chère patrie face, d'une part, à la dégradation continue de la situation sécuritaire de notre pays, et cela sans que les autorités déchues ne nous laissent entrevoir une véritable solution de sortie de crise. D'autre part, la mauvaise gouvernance. Non, nous ne pouvons plus continuer avec les mêmes approches jusqu'ici proposées au risque d'assister à la disparition progressive et inéluctable.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, my time is up for tonight. Coming up in just a few minutes is Pastor Chris Oyakilome live from Nigeria, bringing you the Healing Stream live services you definitely do not want to miss. I hope you're up to date shortly with what is making headlines. I'm Cynthia Nanjala. Good night. Blessed Sunday ahead.